I'm so excited to finish this bare wall hanging because I live in a log cabin and it's going to look terrific on one of my walls. I noticed that my sister turned this fabric around the other side to mute the fabric a little bit, and I really like that. But to begin with, I stitched in a ditch around the borders and, of course, around the bare as I was going. So I wanted to show you what I did in this outer border. I didn't want to distract from, it's a busy fabric, I didn't want to distract from that or from the bare. So I did a very simple pattern, but I think it's one that will show up the texture very well. And I start here, I'll just start right here on the outside. Basically, I'll be doing an outside curve here and an inside curve here. So I think of it as an S as you're doing it. And come down to the seam, over, come down to the seam, outside, inside. And you can go over the top of where you have stitched already. So up here at the top, if I want to go clear around the top, I can do that. I'm staying away from the edge about 1/4 inch at the top so that I don't lose the tips of my ferns when I bind this quilt. It's a kind of a relaxing, soothing design to do, but the texture is the key because on a busy fabric it will really show. Now in the corner I'm going to fan these out a little bit, so I'm going to be coming back to the same area there at the corner more than once. Let's see as I come out and around. So I reach clear out into the corner, and then as soon as I can, I'll get back into the 2 curves. And that means I really have to follow when I'm coming back over here on this side, really follow it down to set myself up for the next one. Curve and down. You can see where I'm coming up to where I was before. So I'll look at that and kind of match what I had going there. And one more in here. And we're done. This next part, I really need to think of doing round, round, round. And I like to finger trace before I get started, because if you get started the wrong direction, it's really hard and then you have to unpick. And I have done that so many times, so I'm just giving you fair warning on that, that it might happen to you, because it does happen to me. I'm going to do this in regulated. I did the outer border in constant mode so I could go faster, but in here I'm going to be a little bit more careful. But you'll see how I get into that motion. So round, round. As I come back, I want to touch, just touch the side of where I had already stitched. But really keep it in a round mode. And in the corner, of course, I'm going to have to fan out, so that's going to get bigger, bigger, smaller, bigger, and then I'll get back into swinging out, swing out, swing out, swing out. On the bear, I wasn't sure how to do the fur, so I decided I would just do, it's kind of like just sharps, lines, point, line, point, and break it in different places. And so far I like what I've done there. I'm using the constant mode, which helps me go a little bit faster. And that was in the foot, so it was a little bit tighter. Now I can get out and get a little bit further apart as I work up the leg here. I did, of course, outline around the bear as I was stabilizing to begin with. So this is quite dense quilting. What you have to be careful of is to keep your points and not get any rounded points. Those don't translate very well into fur. Then just go back down and jump into areas that I've left here. There we go. And back into that. So it's real easy to do. I think we worry so much about what we do that we sometimes become immobilized. And then when we finally do it, we're just like, why didn't we do that before? You can see how fast this whole bear was just really fast to do. I'll have to go back in and figure out where the eye is, maybe do something special there, I'm not sure. Now, again, here I am at the nose, and I'm not sure what to do there. I'm thinking I'm going to go into regulated mode. And by the way, I'm using Signature Woodlands out here in the bear. And in the outside border, I was using a beautiful variegated thread, and it's called Indian Summer by YLI. I've got my ruler here just in case I want some help doing a straight line. Looks like some of these I might be able to just do them freehand. I know I can't do this long diagonal freehand. I think I'll just do it like a Greek key and just continue to echo to the inside. I like that. And easy to do. I know I'm unlike a lot of people. So many plan things out, and oftentimes I just start. And it's just my personality. You don't have to be that way at all. Some of you might be. I actually like that. I don't know how else I would have done it. I think that that turned out really nice. And it's a good contrast to the rest of the quilting around it. Now all I have left is this green area and the bear paw. This fabric is so busy. It has browns and green hues in it that I thought I should do just something with texture. So, and in contrast to the sharp lines on the bear, decided I would just do kind of an echo. I'm just come through here with a line like this, very, very curvy, and then I'm just going to kind of echo it. And I will put in some swirls as well, but just that soothing motion I think is really good. I'll put in a curl here, not like a pinwheel, just sort of really a curl, and then continue to echo. And you can see how quickly you can put something like this in an area, quite a large area actually. I'm going to scoot around here, and now I'll be on this side. Once you get started on this, you want like more. Where's some more of this more areas I can do. So fun. You come in here, you just sort of, I always think of just kind of bounce back, bounce and out. I'm doing this one-handed. It's a little more control if you have two hands. You don't have somebody filming you. And I'll just echo right into the edge. There we go. And the thread that I used was a variegated. It was called Olive Hues, and it was a signature cotton thread. Originally, when I stitched this wall hanging, I just stitched around the outside of this block, which was fine to leave. And now I'm coming back and I'm stitching in the ditch around all of the half triangles and around every seam that's here. And then I can begin to put my design work in. I'm just finishing the stitch in the ditch, and I went over every single seam on here. There we go. And now I think I will just do this continuous curve in these little triangles on the outside. Just the ones close to the blue. Just stitch across there. I'm still using the Woodlands thread. I'm going to come back to this point, and from this middle of this rectangle piece, I'm going to stitch using my ruler, stitch out to that corner, and then up to the middle of this one, back to the corner. So just stitching a V in each of these. And you can do this continuously. And then that completes that. That sort of made a star in there, and I really like that. Now, I'm going to leave this blue area with nothing in it. It's fine, and I like the way that it kind of poofs out. But I do want to do some things in the red, so I'll quickly change thread. This bear doesn't have any feathers on it anywhere, so I'm going to do, I'll just come in here with a teardrop, come over like this, around, around like that with a little smile, and then the final feather there. And then I'm just going to do, again, that continuous curve to get over into the next one. It might even be helpful just to do these two on top. You almost make like a double heart and do it all at the same time on those feathers. So that's a teardrop, and then do like a heart, but come around with a little smile there. And then another one, little smile. And then the last one, I just sort of follow the sides. It feels funny, but it works out great. Over, and then to the next one. And look how quickly we can get that done. It's just awesome. There's so many quilts for us to get done. Around the side, so it's almost like a squarish sort of feather there on the end. And over And I'll go a few stitches down the side to complete that. We'll take this off now and take a look at it hanging up.